Okay, hi everyone. I'm Mike. There's Bruno. He's on guard. And welcome back. Um, it's been a few days since we did our last video. Um, we got the daughter and the grandson moved into their new apartment, so I've been pretty busy with life things at this point. Um, so let's get down to the workbench and see what I have been up to. Okay, everybody. Like I said, welcome back. Um, Life has always presented challenges, right? And that's what makes us stronger when we solve them. But I have been up to some things, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get into today. Um, as you can see in the shot, I have a King 6-inch bench grinder. It's a 3/4 horse, phase one, made in China. Yeah. However, we sell these at our local hardware store for roughly $80, 79 some change. Um, my wife found this on one of the internet marketplaces in our local area, and I got this for $25. Runs just great. Came with two new stones. Of course, I adapted a wire wheel. Um, this is a smaller bench grinder than the one I have in the garage, which is a 8-inch Bauer, which I really love. Um, but it is just a little too noisy and a lot of power to be running in the basement, especially when the living room is right above me and the wife wants to watch TV. This works awesomely. I just needed to wipe down some either barn or garage dust, dirt that accumulated. Um, got it to fire up really good and runs just fine. So I think for $25, that's a pretty darn good deal. One thing though that I did find very, very amusing. Let's see if I can get it into the shot here. It says right there on the bottom, keep children away from machine. I think that's supposed to say children, but they spelled it CLILCTREN. Funny. Um, but like I said again, $25 runs just fine. Brand new, they go for 80, and then you still even have to buy the wheels and wire brushes. Um, it's a 1/2 inch shaft, um, 6 inch, 3/4 inch wide. This is a 1/2 inch wide. Did have to make an adapter for the shaft, but I used the adapters that I made for the 8 inch to make these little wheels to slow the machine down a little bit. However, when I put the 2-wire wheels on this grinder, with it being 3/4 horse, you put the material up against it and it would kind of bog down. So I put the um, finer grit stone wheel on there, and with the attachments and everything, it does not load down when you put the material up to it. I have this little crowbar here that get that in a shot that I tried it out on, which I will be using to bring you over here, make a stand for. Now this piece of wood right here kind of goes all the way up to the ceiling and all the way down. Was part of one of my stepson's beds, and he had the idea that he wanted to make a skateboard out of the wood. Okay, sounds good. Of course, it never happened. He went out and bought a log board that him and his buddies and all that ride now. However, what's kind of neat is I also picked up, I'll get these in the shot for you too. They're not already there. Yeah, kind of, sort of. The spindles. Now they look like they go to like a stairway. And we were 30 miles north of town at a craft fair because my wife does some journaling or scrapbook journaling or whatever it is. Junk journaling, that's what it is. And some of the stuff that she's made is pretty neat. But they had 4 of these stairway spindles. And see if I can find the tape here and get it in the shot. They wanted $25 for these 4 spindles. Well, the day that we went, which was yesterday, half off. So I'm thinking I could take the runners off of here, cut a section out here, make a tabletop, which, you know, it's 3/4 inch real wood, as you can see, and make a stand for that. And what's kind of cool is I was having all sorts of mad scientist ideas, which I make that comment because my wife calls this the laboratory. Waiting for her to call me the mad scientist. But just think of all the different combinations of stain that you could do with this. I mean, I could stain this like a dark, then the red mahogany, and leave that, and then polyurethane, or maybe even just make it a 2-tone instead of a 3-tone. But yeah, I would think that would be a really, really neat idea. And so I've got this week on vacation, so I definitely have a project that hopefully I can accomplish. I'm not very good at woodworking, basic woodworking, and that's what I hope that this will take to accomplish, because mostly I'm a mechanical kind of guy. Love my cars, love engines, stuff like that. And so yeah, that looks like it might make a neat project for this. So for the bench grinder, $25, and 13 and some odd change, we'll say 14. So for $34, I'll have a bench grinder with a neat stand. And I can go to a local hardware store and find wheels so I can roll it around, because last night I installed a power strip. So yeah, that's what kind of mischief I've been up to. However, I did manage to push this out of the way, pick up a couple items. Okay, let's get you better in here. Okay, there we go. Picked this up for 50 cents. It is All-Way Tools, and it's a scraper. You see, here's 2 of the blades here, and then you can actually flip it over, and there across there's a couple more. 50 cents. Metal, nice rubber grip. Figure it out, make a nice cleanup, and if I ever need something like a scraper, you know, I mean, I've got like putty knife scrapers that I could use. So I thought that was kind of neat. Now this, it's kind of got kind of a almost a 70s flavor to it, doesn't it? I don't know if this was what it was intended for, or if this doesn't look like original paint or original graphics to it or what have you. And there's a big piece of foam rubber in there. But what it is another T-handle breaker bar set. Now, there's no name on it. Looks like it might have like a possibly a galvanized finish. So if I clean it up, probably should wear a mask. Because that galvanizing the dust, I guess, well, any dust for that matter, just is not really good for your lungs. It looks like at one time it had a number stamped in it, but there's no name on the breaker bar on it. There's no name on some of these sockets, but and here they're 12 point. There's a couple of 6 point in here, but there's what one of them looks like on the inside, but yet looks like somebody hand stamped the size upside down. That's a I'm assuming once I clean that up, that's a 27, a 24, 22, 19, and some of that buildup. I'll be able to use my bench grinder for that. I also did pick up, so I can get into some of these bores a little better, a couple of these gun barrel brushes. Figure I'd give them a try. They look like they fit into some sort of a metal rod or something, but yeah, but I mean, if put them in a low power drill or something like that, I would think that that would hold up and you get down inside some of these little crevices. I know Dremel, the Dremel brushes, as cheap as they are cheap. They I don't know. I'm just trying to find out what works best for me as far as that goes, right? So there's a 19, another 19. Why he's got two 19s in there? A 17, and you can tell by the way they're spaced too that these have been kind of hand stamped or not factory done. Another 17, a 14. Well, look at how that 14, let's see if I can get that to clean up a little bit. Look at how that 14 got put in there. I don't know if it's going to show up very well for you or not. A 12, another 12, but again, all that lovely corrosion that's on there. I mean, yeah, but I picked this up. I think I paid $8 for this. Here's an 11 and a 10. You can never have too many 10s, right, guys? So that I picked that up also. So it hasn't been without a little bit of adventure from time to time. Now that we can get back into the groove of things, hopefully I can be more frequent with my videos back again to where we can at least get once a week. I might try and push out a couple extra videos like the building that bench in progress type of thing. A couple of notes also I would like to add that in making the adjustments, and I still have the guards for the bench grinder, and And in order to facilitate what I did, pardon me, they did come with, the guards and the shields and everything, but as you can see the dirt that's on there, I did have to clean that up off the grinder. I mean, everything's in great shape. However, the gentleman that I purchased this from had the screws and the bolts going to the guards kind of flipped around. He'd have the screw and the nut on one side, and then he'd flip one was always on each side, was always flipped around. These tools here, these 3 tools, are what I used to, that and a 3/4 inch ratchet for the spindle nut on the end. But in order to get the shields, the Knipex 8201-200, which I showed you a while back that I got as a Christmas deal, I think it was, came in real handy. It's got the teeth on there, kind of like the deal there. But just to get at some of the stuff where the nut driver wouldn't get to, this worked really good for the other end because I only had 1 3/4 and a 19 just doesn't want to work quite right. But this is a Craftsman CMHT 82-250, and it's, keeps the jaws parallel. This came in handy also. But what I was really impressed with is this little Milwaukee ratcheting stubby. I've never been a big fan of ratcheting or even stubby screwdrivers for that matter. So there's 2 strikes that I was kind of biased on or had a preconceived notion of what it would be. But to be quite honest with you, for what I was using it for, to get the shields off and even putting the screws in the wall over there for the power strip, I like this little guy. For me, I don't know, you can't judge really by size of my hand, but it felt pretty good. I mean, it didn't dig into my hand. Had total control over it the whole time. It's got a real decent ratcheting mechanism. It has a lock and then it ratchets the other way also. Getting the bits in and out, just pop it in, pull it out, and then just go ahead and push it back in. I mean, I paid like $16 for this. And for a grab on the fly, just to do some light maintenance, this was just neat. So these 3 tools and a couple other basic tools that I already had, as far as my performance test is gone, they worked just great. The little crowbar to use to pull the panels to make the supports. I have a feeling that that's going to be a fun project. But that's what kind of I've been up to so far since the last video. And that's kind of the mischief that I've caused so far. But yeah, thanks for your patience again. Thanks for your time, and let's go upstairs and be about Bruno's lunchtime by the time this is over, and see what he's up to. Either he's at the door or he's in his chair. Let's find out. Well, hasn't done much of anything, has he? Well, that's quite all right, huh, buddy? What do you say? You want to turn around and at least say goodbye to everybody? Huh? Bruno? Hey. Watching the birdies and stuff? Okay. Well, Bruno, I thank you again for your time. Appreciate your patience on the release of this video. And we will catch you on the next time. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. And keep on tinkering.